say something. What? What you have to say?
What?
It's your turn.
I said what? Your mama like that.
I said what? Like you gotta ask and say something at her table. This her table. It's my podcast. Her table. You can say what you want to say. The purpose of this podcast, of course, at the table is to kind of, I had food interests, of course, with my dad and mom being entrepreneurs. They own a food truck. I'm sure you guys know Wash Buckets, right? Okay. And so a love for food and a love for culture too. So I was like, what better way to kind of collide both of them via conversation? So at the table, of course, is a podcast, as I said, where culture and cuisine collide. So on the menu today,
alliteration. Culture, cuisine, collision.
Come on.
What? I'm with
it.
Collide. My bad.
It's alright. Collision.
That is different. Culture
and the food. That is me.
Yeah, it's okay. That's why I got the word.
Thank you.
Look, as you can see, we have a very talkative bunch. All right, so we're about to take a break really quick and go get this food. On the menu today, my mom and dad slaved and did the dang thing.
In the name of Jesus.
Okay, so on the menu today, if I'm not mistaken, macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Cabbage.
Blessed.
Collard greens.
Like those.
Smoked
what kind of greens?
collard greens.
Okay. You said okay.
Collard.
Where you from, boy?
That's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say, what you call them?
I just say green. I just say green. That's why I was messing with you.
It's a different busted.
I know, but you got just green.
Collards. Collards. Alright, we got regular and smoked neck bones, some ribs, some grilled chicken, some fried chicken, purple whole peas.
Oh, bless it. Is there cornbread?
Of course it's cornbread. Of course it's cornbread.
I thought I saw some sweet potato pie.
Now here, you got that too. My Aunt Patty made those. Patty LaBelle, she
patty pies? You got them patty pies?
But here's the
I
deal.
thought them come out like October.
I know some.
Okay.
Somebody. But above all, the most the important dish to me and one of my favorites growing up, and I told my mom, you got to make these. My mom's candied yams. It's none that can touch it. All right, so we about to go get a plate. All right. Hot topic today on social, Antonio Brown situation.
Hold on, what happened? What was there?
So basically, Kenny, what you got? I know you know.
That's about it. How you don't know?
No, I do know, but we were talking about it earlier.
I just saw him getting compared to Randy Moss on Twitter, to be honest.
So basically, Antonio Brown got cut by the LA Raiders yesterday, and the Cubs official at 4:01 p.m. And literally at 4:02, he was signed by the New England Patriots.
Oh, they clean.
The ultimate finesse.
That's what I'm saying. Does that mean
Play the system, in my opinion.
No, he took advantage of some loopholes because under the CBA, they owed him $14 million yesterday at 4 o'clock if he was on the team. So he was like, he knew if he told them, because he put on IG releasing it, he knew that they had to do it before 4 o'clock. Otherwise, they were gonna owe him $14 million.
Right.
So he put the pressure on him like, if you gonna cut me out, you gonna pay me $14 million. And I ain't playing with it for you, but you're gonna pay me anyway. So then he knew that they were gonna cut him. That way he can finesse his way.
What you gonna put in my ear about? You agree?
I'm just saying, man. He made a valid point in his little video he posted on his Instagram. He's more than a football player. Like John on the phone basically telling him to shut up and play football. Stop all the other stuff, just play ball. Bro, he a man, he a father. This is his body. This is his body we talking about. He ain't just out here just causing problems for no reason. This is what it is.
Nah, he had a reason. He didn't want to play with them.
I mean, but as a player like Antonio, that is putting in the time in the National Football League and proving himself to be the best to ever do it possibly. Come on, man. You've earned that.
Yeah, but everybody can't do that though.
No.
If you the number 4 receiver, you try that.
You can't.
It doesn't work.
Right.
You got talent to back that up.
My think about the whole situation, I agree with both of you, dealing with Antonio Brown. But what I don't like about the situation is that he basically had to be demonized in order to get what was due him. And I understand the collective bargaining agreement, and that's what players have agreed to. But when he demanded a trade from the Pittsburgh Steelers, he wanted to go to New England. Right. The Pittsburgh Steelers said, we're not sending you to New England. That's an AFC rival. So we're going to send you to LA, right?
So we don't get to pick?
He didn't get to pick, right? And so since he didn't get to pick, he had to basically finagle his way and go outside of his character, right, in order to get what he wanted. And so now that leaves him up for, the court of public opinion and to be assassinated.
So you think it's gonna backfire? It already has, huh?
It already has, right? But for
us,
got
$9 million guaranteed, so it worked out.
Your character
It was worth it.
You can talk bad about me for $9 million.
Facts.
I'll let you do it.
I'll come back.
You don't agree? People can't talk bad about you for $9 million?
I don't know, maybe. We can talk about it. I don't know. I think it's just an ongoing conversation. It's just like, is your character worth that?
But
Some people don't think about it that way.
But then also, and I agree with you there, but then also, you also got to think about the future, right? Are other teams going to be willing to, because he's going to have to put up or shut up this year. If he's going to be that much of a nuisance in the locker room and in the media, he's going to have to perform.
But
it's about
I'm just saying, y'all missing it. He's been in the league how long? He ain't never had no problems. He's not a nuisance. And they trying to characterize him as that. He's never had any issues with anybody. Pittsburgh never complained about him in the locker room.
Until last year when he was demanding that trade.
There you
But
go.
that was the first time.
There you go.
And I get that.
So, question. What does this mean to young athletes coming up in the game? Seeing this, somebody they look up to, you know what I'm saying? Is this teaching them, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, this is how you do business?
So, young players have to understand too coming up, even like the college kids, it's like high profile names. I see it every day. You got 5-star kids at 16 years old. And every college in the country wants them. Right. You gotta understand, you control the narrative. Like you have the choice. Like which university you want to spend your 4 years at. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
But a lot of people don't know they get to control it though.
Right.
How you feel?
Chicken good. That's not what you're talking about?
No. But it is good.
I'm like,
Chicken is good.
Red bone good.
No, I'm saying like a lot of people don't even know, not even, definitely on the sports level, but on a personal level, no matter what your job is, you get to control your own narrative and how people, you get to put out how you want people to perceive you. They may not take it the way you want them to, but you get to control the first take of it. And if you're an athlete, you get to pick where you go on the college level, and then at some point on NFL or professional level, you get to control your brand. Your name, your image is a brand.
Yeah.
So when you see me, you're gonna see my brand. I get to control that.
And Mama, can you bring me some macaroni and cheese, please? No, so Jamel Hill, she actually made a reference. She had a tweet, and it was a story, of course, an article that came out, talking about how black athletes should attend black schools and how they make a majority of this money to these predominantly white schools and just like put back into the schools that's really putting on for you. I don't know.
That's strong.
yeah, it is.
It's a lot of layers to it though. The thing about it is, and this is personal, because I went to a PWI.
Shout out your school. Don't be scared to tell them.
You know what I'm saying?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Sorry.
A lot of those, the same opportunities. And actually, we had a girl on from Little Rock, Mama Stanley's little sister, Shakayla.
Yeah.
She just got drafted going to play overseas, right?
She played at Grambling.
Yes, she played at Grambling.
Caleb Hill.
And the thing about it is this. Those opportunities are super cold. She been cold. Her whole family cold.
Yeah.
All of them. Her brother played at Florida. Stanley played at Jacksonville and went off and went into the military. All of them are talented.
Thank you, Mama.
Here's the thing, Mom. The thing about it is the same opportunities that we have at those schools aren't afforded to us at HBCUs that I know of. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not an HBCU grad, so I can't speak to it, but I I think in terms of all black athletes going to all black colleges and universities, I don't see. You talk about some crab in a barrel type stuff. That's where it gets real dicey. I agree with her, but I disagree because it ain't that many out. It's not that much opportunity out there if everybody goes. Somebody gotta go to.
Well, and that's the thing, though. It's like any movement. Like somebody gotta be willing to sacrifice to make that start. Because the way it is now, Jamel Hill talked about in her article, is like when you go to Florida, Alabama, Oregon, their facilities look so much better than UAPB, Alcorn State, Prairie View, because they got all this money. So who's gonna be the first person to say, look, I'm willing to sacrifice this experience for the culture. I'm willing to sacrifice being on TV every weekend for the culture.
Right.
And until somebody willing to do
Somebody
that.
made a good point though, that is it ESPN owns the rights to all Division I sports? And
Pretty much.
speaking of graduating, I went to grad school. I went to PWI and played basketball myself at the Division II university. I went to get my master's, Missouri Western State University. I went to get my master's at Howard University, which you know was on the East Coast or whatever. And it is completely different than the SEC teams you guys mentioned, even the SWAC team that you mentioned. But I saw on Twitter that I think ESPN owns the rights to everybody in the D1 division. So it sounds like they're picking and choosing who they're showing. So it's more black, hot.
So you saying that if more people went there, then they would get that
If wherever any of the big names are, we'll go to some of those larger, even in the SWAC. Howard's a large university that way.
I mean,
They would have no choice.
ESPN comes out with a top 100, top 50, top 300 class. The top 300 kids, out of 300 kids, nobody goes to HBCU.
Right.
Come on, man. So that means the HBCUs.
Not even one.
No.
But here's the thing though, like,
It doesn't happen.
if you that cold, we like in this social media era, right? So
It don't matter.
it's all access and all encompassing, right? But so if you that cold, right?
I'm listening.
Then you that dude.
But
right?
it's not
So
about
you
that.
gonna get
So
that exposure anyway.
here's what it's really about. Here's what it's really about. Alright, why would I go to Grambling? Dirt road, old facilities, old grass field.
Correct.
I'm gonna go to Alabama. They recruited me. They got state of the art, everything. Chefs, they cook 3-course meals all day. So the thing isn't necessarily about, and the kids aren't really caring about tradition anymore. They don't care about that. Man, it's like, yo, what can I get for what I'm giving this school?
It's a family thing too, though. Because if you Nick Saban, and I go talk to somebody, mom and dad, and I say, I have 53 players in the NFL that plays for me right now.
There you go.
You come here, you'll be 54.
There you go. That competition never ends.
And then you're gonna go to some HBCU and be like, we got one from 10 years ago, and that means something when you make these are career decisions.
HBCUs need to do a better job in their recruitment too. I remember, and I'll never forget this story because it just always stuck with me. I remember my senior year, they called all the seniors to the cafeteria, and literally, the recruitment guy, never forget it. He was like,
This is at Jacksonville.
this is at North Pulaski.
No, but my bad. I forgot what the Falcons.
North Pulaski, okay, man, forever live on. Oh, Falcons.
R.I.P. My school leaving next year too. Keep going.
Jesus. He called all the seniors to the cafeteria. And in his recruitment pitch, he says, and who all's taking the ACT in here? You know, all of us have raised our hand at this point, because if you hadn't taken it, it's just like, you don't plan on going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He was like, we had somebody to graduate at the top of their class and made a 4 on the ACT. And guess what? They're graduating at the top of their class here at blah, 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 blah. And we like, so y'all just take anybody who graduates at the top of their class. And then, come on. But is that the pitch though? But is that the pitch though? That you bring all the black seniors in the cafeteria, and you're just like, hey, don't test well, because you can still come here and still kick it and still do this. Is that your recruitment pitch, really?
So we didn't graduate the same year. I graduated before you did, and I had the same conversation with dude from Tougaloo, and he said, we don't care what you make, as long as you take the test.
Wow.
That's what he told me.
Over the road.
Yeah, it was just like, just take the test. And I'm not hating on HBCUs, but I get your point that it's a broader thing.
If it would have been more of,
athletics.
if it would have been more of a pitch that made me like feel compelled to go, I would have been knocking down the doors to go to HBCU. Go to school with people that look like me versus me spotting them out in Ferg, like, oh, she look nice. You know what I'm saying?
But let me say,
I didn't want to go to
From a
one.
sports perspective, I agree.
Yeah.
My bad.
I would say certain students that didn't do well in the ACT but still want to go to college, and so that pitch only applies to them. So if anything, they need to step it up and be more versatile. Like you're not going to attract top talent, rigorous students to your school. If you just aim for the bottom of the barrel.
Because I'm just thinking in that I'm thinking in that, I don't know how to say it. I'm looking at recruitment every day, and I'm looking at all those black kids are athletes. You know what I'm saying? So if you're telling me you don't really care about my education because you said I can play, what benefit is that giving me?
Yeah. Well,
Because you don't want them to just go to school for however long that they're eligible to play and then dip. You want them to have some type of education to fall back on because they're not going to be playing forever and a day.
Right.
And I know folks that's red-shirted and they got their masters and everything. Like you use it for what you're going for.
I'll have it. But
it's crazy, ain't it? And it's pretty.
That's crazy.
It is pretty. Like it's not too white, like overcooked.
It's crazy.
Sister, give me some yes. Go ahead with that.
I really feel like, because I went to HBC, I went to Langston, right, in Oklahoma. We played football. Our experiences, I'm telling you, are night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And Langston wasn't my first choice. You know what I mean? It wasn't my first choice, but it was left on the table, and I can get school paid for it, so cool. But it's just that HBCU living is not for everybody. Like, it's just different. I mean, so I know some people that just couldn't handle the living environments, couldn't handle the close knitness. Like it just bothered some people. And so, I just couldn't have imagined a prima donna 5-star kid coming on out there with us. Like I just couldn't have seen him survive.
And I wasn't a 5-star athlete, but I did want to go to HBCU because I grew up. I didn't even know any white people when I graduated. So I was like, man, I need to go white people.
Yeah.
So I need to go to somewhere where everybody doesn't look like me, just so I can have a different experience.
But also an organization plays some role in that.
Yeah, shout out Arkansas Community.
Community.
I mean, I wouldn't be there where I went, Bowdoin College.
Me either.
Class 06, shout out. But I do understand if you are that athlete, why you couldn't make that decision. And I can also understand why someone could say, I don't want to be the first person to do it because if I end up going to Hampton and then I don't make it because I'm not surrounded by other people who good as I am.
You cheated yourself out of
I just choose now. Your whole life, like man, I would have went to the NFL, the NBA, but I was around all these other 2-star recruits when I could have been around other 5-star recruits.
Because there are some cats in the league that got there because of just where they went to college.
Right.
They really didn't have the talent like Zion Williamson or some of these other top tier talents, but because they were surrounded by that.
Now you look better when there's other people doing well around you.
But there's one thing I want to speak to with Miss Hill. I got a problem with Jamel.
Call her out. Does she hate on Jay-Z?
Well, no, it's not that. I love Jamel Hill and I love his and her on ESPN and SEC.
I represent.
But I read the article and it was on the Atlantic, right? So I said, surely she's writing this article. The Atlantic is black owned.
Hello.
And so I go to the Atlantic website and I look at the top 4 names on the list. They're all white. And so it's like, okay, if you're going to preach that to us and say, hey, I want black athletes to go to, I believe that black athletes should go to, predominantly black schools or HBCUs.
Where are you going to read it?
You want her to be in essence?
Hey,
you gotta reach people where you are. How you expect somebody to pick up that? Because everybody don't read that. Everybody don't know what that is.
Because I sure don't.
And the only reason that we know about it is because she wrote it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it floated amongst us. Because I seen it on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't reading like, oh, let me wake up and read the link today. That wasn't on my to-do list.
So you said she gotta practice what she preached.
Well, I'm just saying, hey, if you're going to preach that, don't go from ESPN to the Atlantic, which are both predominantly white owned, basically predominantly white institutions, and then preach to me and say, hey, you're black, go to HBCU.
So she should only give her talents to black owned entities.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you're going to preach that, if you're going to say, hey,
reach the people where they are.
Top tier black athletes, go to HBCUs. You're a top tier black journalist. You just go to Jet Magazine or Ebony or Essence or some of these. If that's what you're going to preach. Now, for me, I agree with her to a degree, my experience was different because I actually applied to a HBCU and did not get accepted.
Wow.
I got accepted by PWI, right? Or Roberts University.
Was as a minority? Was it you think they had something to do with it?
No, it's 30% minority at the school that I went to. It's 70% white and 30% minority, 15% African American. It's a very diverse student population. But so my experience was different. I wanted to go to Morehouse College because my idol, Dr. Martin Luther King, went there. And I didn't hear anything back from them. I'm like, look, I want to go to school, so I applied to ORU. 2 weeks later, I get an acceptance letter. So depending on the situation and circumstance, it's not always as cut and dried as just, hey, I chose to go to this PWI as opposed to this HBCU.
Yeah, what you think?
Say she over there thinking.
So to be honest, the answer is, and I'm picking on us, how much money have you given to Langston University?
Oh man, since I left, none.
Right.
Well, how much did you get while you were there?
So
They gave me.
so full transparency, I haven't given any money to Howard. I've given a little bit to my undergrad, but I think that's a lot of it. Like us here at this table, let's just pretend all of us went to HBCUs. I mean, even your alumni, have you guys?
I didn't even think about it like
your alma mater. I mean,
and I'm not rubbing anybody on the spot. I have sent my sister money as she was attending. So I feel like that is.
That's all I was thinking about. Just saying, like, ultimately, until Howard has plenty of big name people who could literally fork out some millions, to be honest, and make something happen if they really believe that. But I'm not trying to, I ain't gonna miss
So you
it.
said
But I think we could do better. Yeah, it's really alumni. Why does Fayetteville here in Arkansas have, the facilities they have? Why does the University of Alabama, precisely, went to the school, graduated, won a championship, running the Cowboys now. So
you saying when we return money back into where we came from, that's how we can see changes?
I agree.
I agree
and that's
too.
what I'm saying.
So how about
especially
this?
For us.
So while y'all's playing ball in school, know that they take care of your room and board.
Correct.
Know they take care of your meal plans. You need that. Know they take care of your tuition, books, all that.
And I give you a little money on the side.
Hey, but let's talk about it officially. So
I played ball in college too. They gave me some money.
So okay. Was it like official money or was it some money that was kind of just extra on your scholarship?
No, we got per diem. So like whenever we had to travel, coach went to the he went somewhere and came back with a bunch of
I don't imagine what these people.
I don't know where it is.
Am I lying?
I don't know what it was.
Sports lover. I really ain't into sports like that.
Teach me something, because I don't know.
Sports part of the culture though.
Yeah.
It is.
So you were talking about earlier about the stipend.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good point that you brought out with that.
No doubt.
Can I just say something?
What?
What you got to say?
What?
It's your turn.
How your mama said that?
I said what? Like you should have asked.
Ma'am.
Okay, her table. It's her table. It's my podcast. Her table. You can say what you want to say.
Not table.
Your thing.
I just want to say, you guys talking about HBCU. I went to HBCU, Denver College, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. that it didn't matter what you made on the ACT because they would make sure we got in and that we have a place to stay, we get financial aid, student loan, whatever it took to get us in. And granted, when we got there, like you said, the living conditions,
Right.
it wasn't that great. But at that time, we didn't know what great was.
Right. So you haven't navigated off.
Exactly.
But we know now.
Yeah.
You know, but they took care of us.
Right.
And that was good, so I appreciate that.
Now that's a good point. I don't want you to think we was hating on HBCUs.
But you know what's crazy?
No, but I feel like nobody that nigga that hate right.
Y'all listen. Do y'all even think colleges like still
Dylan.
care about their blacks like they cared then?
What you mean?
Yeah, where you going with
No,
that?
just real quick.
Well,
They seem really passionate about getting African Americans into their institution
Right.
and purposely salt y'all out.
yes.
That's not happening right now.
And wanted to make sure we graduate.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Oh,
That
but
ain't
I don't even want to get to bash in our generation. But we cut from a whole,
Yeah,
excuse me,
man.
they're cut from a whole
Come on now, if I say correct,
different
then.
cloth. Like, we the ones out here.
We just trying to get money. You remember I told, okay, now get this. Now you remember I told you that I read the other day, this article, of course, I'm searching. Did they say the average American is supposed to and can retire with $2 million in their bank account?
What's wrong with that?
How much you got?
That far.
Because if you got $2
Why you
million,
all in my pocket?
I'm
though?
just saying you asked a question.
He not retired.
I'm not retired.
You working towards it,
I
so
am.
you should be working towards the $2 million.
You need to ask Lydia. She got.
Well, no, okay, so like, no, but really, so the article was saying like the average
See,
person,
she
like
like I
all
do.
of us sitting in this table right now, we should have about $9,000 in our bank account right now. That's what they're saying. The average American should have about $9,000 saved. What they were saying though is that like in your 20s, you should be able to put back a little bit more than $600 a month. Now in Arkansas, you gotta think about it. The average person makes $36,000 a year.
Well, less.
Or less.
Yeah, I was like, it's that.
You
Which
know,
is why we have side
I ain't
hustles.
gonna lie.
Man.
I'm selling
and then they're like, if you in your 30s and you don't have any savings, you need to be trying to save at least $1,200 a month.
Double that.
That's somebody's whole paycheck. And then they're saying if you're in your 40s with no savings, which I mean, I know quite a few people who are, you need to be trying to save close to $25,000 a month in order to
That's if you can't catch
retire
up.
with that $2 million. You know, assuming that your savings
25.
is gonna
Not 2,500.
Oh.
I mean, these numbers don't consider places around Little Arkansas.
Right.
Right? And so
Pennsylvania.
it's like, how do you reduce the cost of living, increase your cash flow so that you actually can save those numbers? We gotta stop being consumers, right? Like think about all the things that we spend our money on that we really don't have to. And then maybe you can
With a
find,
in the background.
This is true.
maybe you can find it, you know, because I was watching TV and there was a janitor that was able to like save up all this money and like give out these scholarships
I saw that.
on little to no money. So it's not that it's not possible. I just think most of us don't want to live so
Yes.
uncomfortably
I taught
just
you
in
that
the
a
name
long
of
time ago.
saving, right? Like that's just not something that.
Well, here's the deal. Think about it. It starts early though. Financial literacy.
Yeah.
So my mama and my dad's in the military. My mom's a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Retired 20 years. Dad retired 20 years in the military.
And get ready to retire for you.
And get ready to retire again from another career that he made. You know what I'm saying? Being a police officer, a lieutenant. Here's the deal. Yeah, we learned different things growing up. Knowing what I know now, could my parents have done better? That's subjective. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, they didn't know.
Right.
So you teaching me what you learning on the fly. And so now I'm getting older. I'm like, hey mama, can you co-sign for my apartment? You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't that great. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And or I'm putting more of a deposit down. Or I'm like, hey mom, we were talking the other day. Jay texted me and was like, hey, you got a savings account? And I was like, yeah, I got one. He was like, all right. And I was like, what you need to know? You know what I'm saying? What you asked me for? Because I'm like, does he need something? Whatever. And he was just like, I was just taking a poll with some of my friends, and it was a random thing, but it caused my mind to
I didn't
just
get a text
go.
though, but she's just some of her friends.
Oh wow.
See, that's what you
But there,
But the thing about it, Jay said, we were talking later, and with everybody, because he said that he had $5,000, right? He was like, and I want to put this somewhere where it's gonna grow. And so
savings account is not growing.
it's not growing. So Mia brought up, what was it?
High
Yield savings. But these are things that we was both sitting there like, say it again. What is it? Because it's not things that we know about.
But I learned from I didn't learn that from my mom.
But
No
you-
disrespect, love my mom.
Exactly,
But
but
you
that's
know
the thing.
they
We taking that
appreciate
knowledge now, and why it's
Yeah.
so important now for us to tell people that are younger than us, our younger sisters, our kids, like, because our parents couldn't do it for us, they could only do so much.
You know what Jay-Z said?
What he say? I know you always got a Jay-Z quote.
Jay-Z said generational wealth is the key. My parents didn't have it, so that shift starts with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what you're getting at. So if we're going to change this narrative, a lot of people got $2 million in the bank account because they get the head start.
Yeah.
I can save $600 in my bank account because I don't got student loans. My mom and daddy paying for the apartment. They bought my car. They paying my car. So if your expenses are lower, then you can put this money back because you already have this wealth mentality already built up. So I'm with you. It's on us now to change the narrative. To say, man, I got $5,000, I want to invest in something that's going to produce instead of just putting it in
It's also on these companies, though, to be paying us what we worth, though. Like, honestly and truly. If I go to school for 4 years like I did, to the school that my parents paid for me to go,
right.
I mean, $120,000 worth of education that I got.
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
But look how smart you are, though.
Yeah, I may be smart within my house and at the table, but I ain't smart enough to be getting no big old salary like how my counterparts are for the degree that I got. I graduated in 2013. It's 2019 going into 2020, dog. I still have not gotten a job in my career. I made my own situation. Yeah. I just happen to be good at radio, happen to be good talking. Like, I finesse my own way. I'm not working in public relations.
Don't even. But that's perfect to me.
Just talk about it.
If you have this,
I dropped out.
Create something for yourself. You should do
get me out of here.
I'm doing it now.
Exactly.
I'm doing it now, but it took me how long to do it though?
Well,
because it was door after door, shut, and I'm thinking of these college kids that are putting their hard-earned money into that are getting out of college, that have all these. I'm just looking at that makes me upset because it's just like you want to encourage kids to go to college and do these great things, but it's like. For what? Because somebody can get my same somebody can get my same job making the same salary that I'm making without going to college.
Absolutely.
And I busted my butt to walk across the stage waving my mama. I made it. I got it. First in the family.
We have overvalued the college education in American society. I agree with that, but your college experience still make you who you are.
I ain't gonna do all the experience.
Right. All the experience.
I love my
But I agree with you saying there's a lot of people making more than I make who don't got the degrees I got. So I definitely get it.
I say all that. I'm not making $2 million to retire with. I don't see enough time.
No, you gonna have it.
But
What you mean? We about to have sponsorship? Or watch buckets about to blow up? What? Get you some watch buckets.
I'm gonna say if I could grow up and be like Travis Scott, then I'd be in some good company.
What, you gonna marry a Jenner?
Maybe I need marry. You gonna marry her? I'm still up for grabs. But y'all, okay, but I got a secret, an honest moment. Okay, listen. Come close.
We gotta whisper.
Come close. Closer. Henry knew nothing about Travis Scott. Really? Period.
I didn't know this dude existed.
Really?
Oh man. Okay.
I'm like, what rock? What rock?
Mama watched it. You knew about Travis.
Because Alice does radio.
Right.
And I listen
Come
to
this way,
her.
Mama.
Because Alice does radio. And I listen to her show and whatever. So that's how I know.
Mama said I always heard you say, up next, Travis Scott, up next.
On the way.
So I'm watching this documentary on
The
Netflix.
Travis Scott documentary.
Yeah, look, Mom, I can
And I see this mad following that he has and how crazy these kids are about this dude. And I'm like, what is it about this dude that got these kids like jumping off stages and there was one kid that literally passed out. Another security guard broke his leg. He got arrested in Northwest Arkansas for inciting a riot that he wasn't inciting, just that he was so excited about him being there. So I'm like, what is it?
I went to the concert in Detroit. My mom was like, please tell me you were not down at the bottom. I was like, Mama, I wasn't, because I was too scared. When I tell you that mosh pit situation is so real, right? The influences.
But it's a different culture too, though, because
over.
I know, but other music genres, they've been doing mosh pits.
Yeah. I'm watching. But I think it's different for the culture for us because
that's exactly what
we haven't. Now me and Jade had a mosh pit experience that was pretty dope. You remember?
Right.
Birmingham. Best concert we went to in our whole entire lives. Whole world when he did the Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah.
Best concert I ever been to in my life, and me and Jay, we got general admission tickets.
We in the trenches.
It was
We in the trenches.
phenomenal.
Right.
I mean, and just being up close, and that's the experience that you give those fans because they feel so connected to you in that moment that it's like, oh my God, I'm this close. I was gonna see Beyonce and I was like super excited because I was down at the Mosh Pit Club Carter like and I'm seeing Beyonce.
So they don't act like that, Beyonce.
No, it's different because we all just try to be in the zone. You know, we locked in. Ain't nobody moving from the stage. But just to be
and everybody's
engaged. Yeah, that too. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was pretty dope. My dad enjoyed it for the most part. I told
Talking about the documentary?
Yeah. I walked in and I was cleaning up. We was about to go get lunch. I see mom and dad sitting up watching it. And I mean, posted up like, this is good. This is good.
I'm like, it was breathtaking. I mean, no, it's just breathtaking seeing those kids, you know, soak up what this guy had to offer. I'm like, wow, what is he doing? They're making them want to just fly off the stage, you know, and it was black, white, Asian,
right?
You know, and they were just like in a daze running behind his car.
Yeah, it was like Michael Jackson. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I was shocked. I had no. Of course, I know about Travis Scott and Astro World album, but I had no clue that it was that big. No clue that he had all those kind of people following him at all. And I remember seeing on social like the Astro World tour. Some of our peers, I'm seeing them, and I'm like,
because it was a big carnival setup and all that stuff. It was like
still didn't click, but it was thousands.
But you wanna know why it didn't click? Because we didn't know what Astro World really was. So the fact that it was off of this childhood, like
right. Six Flags.
Yeah.
And so for me, one thing that I noticed, because I didn't get a chance to get through the whole doc, I plan to though.
Yeah.
After we leave the table, there seems to be like he has this connection to the misunderstood, right? And so like when you're looking at his life, and there's a part on the doc that was so powerful where he's at his grandmother's house, I think, and the room is like as big as this table. He's like, this is where my brother and I grew up, and for him to go from that and juxtaposing that to Astro World concert, it's like, dude, yeah, he made
in
it.
your hometown.
Yeah, he made it.
Yeah, and I think another thing that you could probably speak to a lot too, Henry, and what I kind of want you to touch on a little bit, is kind of just like the power of manifestation. Watching back and forth in the documentary, he goes back to like home videos and stuff that we used to have. You know what I'm saying? That nobody really keeps up with.
Yeah.
But it's just like the manifestation that comes with it, like. Whoever, after we watched it, I told my dad, like, you got to find every home video that you got. I want to do this. It's so cool because
we keep up with them, but the world has changed. Our stuff is on VHS.
Yeah.
Now everything's digital.
Yeah, we got conversion now. Don't worry, I found somebody for that. Trust me. When I found it, I was like, oh my God,
now that's a blessing in itself. I don't have no video. I only got like baby pictures. I don't even know what I look. I mean, people tell me I look the same.
Yeah.
And I don't got pictures of me when I was little.
Why not?
It's
We
okay.
didn't take pictures.
I only have one picture of me when I was little, and I was 7. That's the only picture I have.
That's what I'm saying. Because I grew up in a different age than you.
Well, yeah, but I still kind of think, I mean, we not that far apart.
I was just trying to
I'm just surprised, like, even for him to have both of his parents still actively involved in his adult life. But I was just like, who had the wherewithal back then to record everything?
All of this.
1995.
I mean, and how it links up, Henry, manifestation. How important is the power of your mouth?
Absolutely. And so his dad, there's even a part in there where his dad was saying that, where he even did like a little like freestyle rap.
Yes.
And he's like, my son is gonna be that dude. And it fast forwards to the present where his dad is literally riding in the backseat of the car on the way to the Astro World concert. And it's like speaking those things that be not as though they were, right? And the power of your tongue. And then not only that, but aligning their life and towards their giftings and their talents, even from a young age. That's powerful, right? Because a lot of times if a kid says, you know, I want to be this or I want to be that, some parents are like, no, baby, that's okay, baby. You're going to be all right. You know, that, you know, we don't do that in this family. But to fuel his life towards that vision and to see it realized, that's a very powerful thing.
Ally, what have I always told you though?
I am what I say I am.
No. Alright, so listen, let me tell you something.
You said it because you like.
Let me tell you something.
I'm telling you a lot of stuff. I'm trying to think like, okay,
In the terms,
in transition, what he's saying?
in
You are what you are?
In terms it is Ally. Like real talk. Like Ally is saying, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm gonna quit this job. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. Like, alright, of course. Yeah. And then you fast forward a couple months later and it's happening. And you're like, I'm saying. And so I told her, and I told her before because this has happened multiple times. And I'm like, yo, I'm scared. So don't be speaking. When you speak, make sure you speak good on. When you say something about Jay, just make sure you say it exactly.
Good stuff.
Oh man, because it be happening, and it's crazy. Because I be telling them like, yo, that is scary.
Jay told me I got a direct line to God.
Oh my mama.
I don't know what. Can you
Fam,
tell him
I need to move to LA in 3 months. Make it happen. Appreciate it.
That
And
part.
Jay's telling me
Man.
I be like, what?
and that's why I was
I
telling
got
you.
direct line to him too.
I do too.
I mean, I'm saying we all do.
Y'all do.
Yeah.
Man.
But he was just
But Alex,
No, I just want people to know
I just want people to know I got the line too. Okay, and it's not the main line.
Cause I got it to the text. I send email, text, I call, and leave voicemail.
And then he hit you back?
He'll hit me back. It just don't happen as fast.
he's like, oh, I
Because he busy with Ally. He busy with Ally.
No, I was just gonna say that even with Ally moving from Detroit, she was calling me, telling me, I want to leave Detroit, I want to leave Detroit. And I was praying. So we were agreeing on it. She didn't know we were agreeing on it. And so when it happened, she was like, I am leaving Detroit. I'm like, that's what we've been praying for.
She was talking about how sick of Detroit she was for a long time, and God was like, you bet, I got you.
That's a God gonna get you out of that.
I got you.
Come back home.
You know, I think it's crazy because I mean, and we all, I'm sure, has had some type of dealing with it, but it's just like sometimes I was talking. Somebody called me yesterday, and we was having a conversation about how you want something so bad and how you say that you want something so bad, and then when it happens, you be like, dang, you know, you may not have been prepared for it, right? Because I wasn't prepared to leave, right? But I've been asking for it. I wasn't prepared to leave Detroit, right? I got fired, so it's like, okay, it's not on my time. What I do, not nor the way that I wanted to go.
But then,
Said you wanted to go.
But I said I wanted to go, right?
And you go.
I got you.
you didn't get fired. The company.
Well, the company got we got acquired, whatever.
That's
So
a good way
we
to say you
ended
got
up-
fired.
Thank you.
Yeah, but she didn't just walk out
I
of
let
you're
go,
fired because
yeah.
you did something. She
Right.
walked out of there with severance pay.
Right. But it's just all of that to say.
Ain't no
Sometimes
problem.
God will push you out. Sometimes God will push you out of some uncomfortable situations for you to go into the more uncomfortable to find your new comfort. You know what I'm saying? So
And it's
just
all
weird.
in God's time, and He had something
Yeah.
else waiting on you
Yeah.
because you stepped right into things that God had already lined up
Yeah.
prior to, you know,
Yeah.
in timing.
And that manifestation thing is, I completely agree with it. But what it does, I don't think we realize that when you start speaking stuff, you believe it, and then your actions in the Travis Scott documentary, you start lining up with it. You like, okay, I believe I'm gonna do this, so then I gotta do this to make it happen.
Right.
And then that's how things really start to unfold in your life, as he can see. And another thing I liked about him is that no matter all the stuff he's doing, man, he really care about his city. Like, he really putting on
He
for
loves you.
Houston. He really loves Houston,
Yeah.
and he doing things to make it better than, or have the things like Astro World, like that was gone. So like, let me recreate this for people.
And then so much so that the mayor was like, you ain't win that Grammy?
Right.
Don't worry about it, because I just signed off saying we bringing Astro World back.
Right.
Like, what is that to bring back in the music park to your city?
Right.
Because of you.
You.
They weren't
That's
even
right.
thinking like that kind of stuff. That's the type of, when I think about what type of impact and what kind of footprint, what do I want to leave?
That's right.
That's the type of impact that you want to have. You get what I'm saying?
You want a
Everybody got
music
your own
park? Ally's
space.
a music park?
Allie's World.
Alice World.
Allie's World.
Well, here it's coming.
There y'all go. I'm on my
Look,
watch.
what time, what day? What is it?
No, but I'm very grateful because this is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. And we talked about it, just how you say you want to do stuff, say you want to do stuff, say you want to do stuff, and then it's just like the action you just got to put behind it.
Right.
So this has been something I've been wanting to do. I didn't know where to start with a podcast. It was just like, I was at the NABJ conference and they were like, oh, it's a shortage of black food writers. And I'm like, oh, well, if the food space is kind of empty, let me slide in there and see what this podcast ain't talking about, right? So it's like, to be able to talk about things, to do what we do literally at this table. I got in trouble at this table. It's a lot of stuff that's happened at this table. We had family meetings at this table. I remember when my mama got this, when we bought the house, and this was like one of the first rooms that was complete. You know, like this, I'm interior, this is big.
Don't do that. Don't do
I had
that.
never thought about that, but this
Y'all forgot she was a crybaby. Y'all didn't know that.
No,
That girl get the cry.
You know, stuff comes full circle. So for everything to happen at
Eat some
this
pie. Eat some
table,
pie. Eat some pie.
for everything to happen at this table, and to come back, years later, and for it to be manifested now,
You know,
it means a
fire
lot.
make your tears stop. You didn't learn that.
That's Patty probably do it, okay? So I say all that to say I really thank you guys. I thank Bruce for really taking the time and like being there to like iron out all the details. Brandon for your creative eye, I appreciate it. And to all the cast and crew, I really appreciate you guys beyond words. From my mama and my dad to take their time off of work,
Cook this food.
bought the food, and let me tell y'all, stop.
That's why.
Shut up, you always do that.
It's not funny. Because I feel you.
Girl, stop.
I told my mama, I was like, I really needed this project to like go well, and I needed to package up a full product. And my mom took all of my ideas and she just went and did it. She bought new dishes. All this stuff. She wanted it to look how I wanted to do it, so I could sell it and do what I really wanted to make it do. And to have, and that's what I'm saying. Honor your parents, trust your parents, love on your parents, because they are going to be the only people that's really in your corner, regardless. And this was just an idea that I was like, Mom, I think I want to do a food podcast, you know? And for her to drop everything, you know, Destiny to come and she's over here washing dishes while we talking, like, this is what this podcast is built on. It's not just about making money. It's not just about, this is like at the table with your family, with your friends. I do want to make some money. I do want y'all to listen, but it goes beyond that. For me, this is really just like some therapy, and it's fun to sit and be able to do this with your friends and know that your family's supporting you full out 1,000%. I cry a lot, but I need these tears because my mom and dad did everything for this. I haven't spent a dime and tried to cash app her back, you know. When your parents believe in what you're doing, it's not a thing, and I can't wait to be that parent for my kids.
Uh-oh.
Manifest right
Now, here it is.
That is not
All right.
We're
We're done. Let everyone thank you guys for joining us here at the table.